carefully unbox the shrink wrap, being extremely careful to not let any cardboard dust escape. One-to-one analysis of the text, studious note-taking, no single consonant lost in the search for this game's meaning. Underline, theory crafts, draw, highlight. Then we must consult the ultimate library of knowledge. I get to play the game with all my friends.
Yeah, let's just move out for my first turn. Let's move that there, character goes out there. Yeah, Daniel's turn, go ahead, yeah. Okay, you sure? Yeah, the game's kind of like that, yeah. Yeah, okay, yeah, and then Mr. Bear in the corner, take your turn. Yeah, I don't know, I think this faction looks pretty good. Maybe it's overpowered, I really can't tell. What do you think, Pranav? Pranav, you there? Yeah, stop playing on your phone.
Thinking about the game.
Try to win game, pros, cons, blah, blah, how to play, let's get into it. Let's do the next angle, let's go. Film, 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 angles, angles, films, camera, light. Now, slow-mo B-roll shot. Ooh, slow-mo, very nice. Done filming, go clean, edit time, go. Edit, 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 edit. Click, 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 edit, click, click, edit. Oh, done. Oh, yeah. But actually, how do we review the games, right? So it all starts out, before all this gear here, it all starts out with playing the game. Pretty self-explanatory. If I have the honor of unboxing the game and then cracking open the rulebook, then I'll try to run through at least part of a solo game or two-headed approach by myself before showing it to my friends. For actual gameplay, we run through games at a minimum 2 to 3 times, preferably with as many different types of people as possible. I'm usually looking for balance issues, whether it be some type of item or faction. What are the pivotal moments? What is the game trying to do, and is it doing a good job in doing that? I'm also constantly asking little questions to the people I'm playing with to get their ideas.
I think the reason there's no mulligan, okay, I feel like this faction needs to be attacked with a mulligan.
I have 77.
Because to do this correctly,
no, because you can just fight.
I guess that's fair, right? But like,
let's say you're on there, and then you gain the move, right? Yeah. You just walk around and like, like cancel and grab, you just make cookie cards.
The thing about doing well is the first 3 moves and you're optimizing it. If you really optimize it, then you can win fast.
It's very mechanical.
Imagine a Scythe, you gain hearts for fighting people or something like that.
Yeah.
That's the only way you fucking make that work.
Also, you need points more exponentially than just getting 1 star, right?
Yeah.
And then I write down my ideas on a very simple 4-part checklist. Pros, cons, nitpicks, and scoring thoughts. I'll usually start them out as phrases that devolve into a bunch of tiny sentences with subpoints. I'll end with something that looks like this, and sometimes I'll have to play the game 1 or 2 more times before I reach a final conclusion. Usually because some type of mechanic just doesn't sit quite right with me and needs a little more discovery and some more exploration, like Auk.
I just want to say that's like a thing that's like 0.5, maybe 1. So that's already down to 8, sure. But
It's already down to 8.
Why did it not just do balance runs on the fucking factions? Like, why?
In the vast majority of cases, pros will take the longest to write because, well, that is what you're comparing your cons to, and so it's very crucial that rules are explained if needed, or that the sequencing is right.
Okay, this bad boy's looking pretty good. Then I had Daniel over here on this monitor. He was just reading the rulebook on his end and going through a lot of the stuff that he thought was cons. We had like a lot of discussion. We were talking there, and then I was typing here, and I was looking up stuff on BGG and then forums. Yeah, man, this has been quite a trip because Scythe is a very nuanced game that has lots to work off of. Oh, hey, look, Daniel returned the Scythe copy. Okay, it's 8:41 on a Monday, and I just sent the script over to Daniel to go over. This has been a crazy one. Daniel's been working hard at his end too. Pretty crazy. It's the morning after, and it's back to work on the script again. Daniel made some changes last night. Let's take a look at them. He made a lot of changes from what I could tell.
And Daniel made a lot of really good changes, and I had to take a while fixing up as per his suggestions, usually to just make it sound more clear. Sometimes my ideas were just wrong though. It is especially important that we try to remove our biases when talking about the pros and cons, because we want to focus on what the game is trying to be, so what does or doesn't work in context to the game. Pros will talk about the game's main hook, why that main hook is good, and then talk about more stuff like player interaction, asymmetry, and replayability. For Scythe, we would say that the 4-action system is clever, with tons of mechanics to boot, like King of the Hill, 10 milestones, and player powers. There's nuance to have with positioning, and the threat of fighting, and then we made sure not to go too hard on selling fighting as a key point of the game. So then cons has to be the reverse, why something doesn't work and what the game is trying to do. We really want to give solutions to our complaints, so we're not just, well, complaining, right? So great example for Scythe, on the back of the box it says it's a 4X, so it's trying to be a 4X, but as covered in the review, there's not really that much fighting for this being a 4X. So we came up with the term a 4X inspired Euro that would work really well on the back of the box. Then let's talk about imbalances. These can be tricky to spot, and we can't find everything in every game, but man, are these cool to unwind. A great example of this is Scythe's imbalance of factions and player boards. A lot of people just know that certain combinations are stronger. But why, right? Why are these always banned? So we did a dive into the design of Scythe, and we figured that, okay, this really stems from this game have really rigid design, meaning you spawn in the same place every single time with certain factions, and there's really low emergent randomness. This is piled on to the low politics of Scythe, where the disincentives from fighting don't really have people ganging up on the person who's winning, especially early game because you're pretty isolated on this map. So then the imbalances of Scythe here are extra bad, definitely a big con. Whereas something like imbalance in TI4, where there's really high politics and 2 out of the 70 factions are a little overtuned, that falls under nitpicks in TI4. I handed off to you in this giant Google Doc.
I remember I spent 2 whole days going through it and also like fact checking myself to be like, wait, I'm pretty sure that's wrong. And I'll be like changing it, it's like, yeah, that's wrong. And I find like the source and I like link it in the comments like, oh, here's like the BG thread, right? Or like here's like the site blog or whatever, right?
That's actually some hardcore like essay writing, like peer reviewing.
When you passed off to me, I was like, whoa, buddy, there's a lot of things in there that's not quite true when you look at the game from the high tier play level standards. Ooh.
Yeah, that tournament level blogs, right? A lot of research. I remember seeing our YouTube suggestions like, oh, this is like Polenia opening, and this guy just describes the opening.
Oh, so that's just watching on Shelfside.
Yeah.
And then I think I had to spend like a Monday and a Tuesday just doing nothing but just reading that script and going over and making changes.
Yeah, I would see edits from 3 a.m. to 6 a.m.
Yeah, that's because I'm a degenerate and like, I'm basically nocturnal, so yeah.
Before we move on to filming, how about our scoring system? Now we've gotten plenty of questions on this, you see this criteria right here, and this could be its own video. But for now, let's just say this recommender or tentative score is here to answer the questions. How well does the game do in what it's trying to do, and with the caveat, is that thing even a good idea in the first place? You can see with this caveat, it's there to prevent us from giving high scores to dumb games because some games do a good job of what they're trying to do, but they're not a good idea. Like think about this game. What's that smell? It's a game all about sniffing terrible smells and guessing what they are. Well, does this really need to exist? Contrast that with something like Wingspan, which is a prime example for our scoring system. Daniel and I both really did not like the game, but we couldn't deny that for being the solitaire-esque tableau builder it is, the game does an excellent job, hence 9 out of 10. Okay, on to the filming now. Talking about the filming now.
Okay, it is time to film the review. Okay, so I gotta set up the game for like the bajillionth time, hopefully the last time, and just have it all set up on this table in this sunroom studio. So actually, let me give you a quick tour, right? So yeah, this is the little sunroom studio we have. This is basically like an attachment to a house. Good thing is that it's a very bright, usually, like this. Sometimes it gets too bright in the summer. But another thing is that this room is not very well insulated. See, it's not like really officially part of the house. So what will happen is that in the winter, it gets cold. It's kind of like being outside in this room in the morning. So that's why I'm always wearing like a beanie in the videos. Also, I'm always wearing a big jacket, not right now, but people always ask me, why are you guys wearing like hats and scarves and jackets in your videos? It's because this room can get really cold. Bam. This is a 5D Mark IV. Lens cap is on right now. So this guy right here is what we shoot basically every single video with. And also, 99% of our footage comes from this lens right here. It's a 24-70mm, a little broken. Zoom ring doesn't work, but this right here does the job. Zoom in, zoom out, zoom in, zoom out. That goes on this tripod right here, and it is super secure. Yeah. If you ever wondered how we do those smooth, crispy motion shots, well, that's putting this guy on a slider, which is pictured on screen right now, and then we put this 35mm lens on this, and man, is that really smooth with the image stabilization on this. Ah, and of course, the light right here. Yes, this is a Aperture 120D light store. Yeah, it has this China ball you put over it that actually has been doing a really good job for basically not costing us anything at all. It just lights up so much of the room, and there's a nice adjustable dial here. We usually have it at 70 plus because the room is pretty bright. Here, we'll do a quick test. 77%, 100%, 10%. Basically off, right? But then this is off. Bam, actually off, on, off, on, off, on, off. So here are all the shots that I'm going to be going over today, and we'll just get the shots, then it's back to editing another video. Perfect. I just finished shooting all the silent skits. So now it's time to actually shoot the audio talking part of the review. So we have set up right here. We got camera set up, light, game generally set up, and then we're gonna have the mic. This is a kind of older Audio Technica we use. Yeah, looks like that. That goes down, we talk into it. Pretty cool. So yeah, that is almost all of our audio for the reviews, but I've been playing around with maybe changing up in the future. Alright, so everything for the reviews goes into this right here. This is a Zoom H4, handy dandy handheld recorder that we plug these XLR cables. A Euro game about raising your Eastern inspired faction. Gory. That took Kickstarter store in 2016. Let's do this. Scythe. 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 A Euro game about having your Eastern European factions. Scythe. Scythe. A Euro game about raising your Eastern Let's get into it. Alright, cool. Let's cut this guy. Cool. Yeah, that is the first scene. Film. Bam, just like that. Let's do the rest. I'm gonna cut this. I forgot to take photos of the game, so let's do that right now. Use this macro lens, attach it to the camera, get those snapshots, and we'll cut it out in Photoshop. I literally just finished filming on the pros, so cons will be tomorrow and recommender score, all their scoring stuff. Cool, alright, let's get the show on the road. Cons time on Scythe. And we're done with the cons and nitpicks. So now, it is time to go to the recommender scoring. So let's move everything. I usually try to do the same consistent angle for recommender scores. So we gotta basically move everything around here, clean up the mess of Scythe components we got there. go, let's go, let's go. I think that's good. All right, looks good. Looks good, looks good. Yeah, let's do it, okay. Now it's time for a recommender score. Now it's time for a recommender score where we try to critically evaluate the pros and cons of the game. And Scythe is gonna get a 7 out of 10. I just finished filming everything. The recommender score, the personal score, the Patreon shout out. Thank you patrons, by the way. And then, yeah, we'll leave this here. I'll clean it up in a minute. We'll load all this footage onto the computer, start the editing process. I'm sure I'll have to retake a couple of the shots of the game because that always comes up. I'll probably take some more photos. Anyways, this is break time for me. Break time. Give me a clap and then go for it.
3 out of 10 personal score, a bad time for me. Yeah, popularity and power stars are like, popularity, power upgrades are all trap stars.
Yeah.
For skill level, but I digress. I've been talking too long. Go listen to Ashton now.
Go. We're going to take this audio, we're going to run my preset on it, and it's going to change the forms.
Okay, yeah, let's not go there. This is all just technical nonsense that is boring, so just for fun, let's just say lots of Adobe Premiere and Photoshop are used. Oh, and then on average, this is the most time-consuming part of the process, where unnecessary bits and pieces of the original script get cut out mercilessly. This is also riddled with retaking shots or just making up shots I forgot to do. This happens all the time, oh my gosh. After editing, thumbnail time. This mostly just has our face on the left side, game box on the right side, and then some outlines to make it all pop a little more.
It's actually done, I think. I gotta send it to Daniel to look over, but my end, it's done for now. Let me just put that intro in front.
We almost forgot about this. We almost always do this last.
I'm so happy that this shot exists.
I was really stumped for ideas on a Scythe intro, so Daniel brainstormed this Titanfall 2 trailer parody thingy, using this photo as inspiration. Yet this idea got scrapped because these PNG cutouts didn't quite work. But yeah, a little more shots to do with some more precision because we're working with the macro lens, and then lots of editing done on Daniel's end. We're done! We did it! So yeah, actually looking back on this footage and watching our review process, it is really striking how unchronological this all is. Yeah, I would have never imagined making a board game review to take so long, but hey, I do like the final product. No bias there, of course. Can't wait to see where my opinions and analysis go as I make more reviews, and always working to make the review process faster when possible. Really curious how this process will look down the line, 2 or 3 years, maybe different gear, different lights, different people maybe, who knows, I'm pretty excited. Thanks for watching the video. As always, a thank you to our patrons for making videos like this possible and reviews like this possible. Thank you guys so much. Patreon's in the description below, and I'll read out the names right now. We got Manuel G, Brian C, Clifford H, Aaron W, Max B, Boria, Jeremy MC, Charlie P, Quinton SMS, Travis R, Adam 5, TK, Ryan D, Rafael L, Matt G, Speeder 71, Ryan J, Brad G, Tiamo Period, Mark A, James M, Evan B, Charles B Jr., Josh J, Basketball, Rado, Sophie, Ryan Z, Colin Allen, Hudson T, Pearson B, Omar F, MY, Ethan P, Bradley J, John C, Galvin V, Darkes, SS Co, Alex L, Rob R, Sandy 22, Dave F, Josh R, Pat, Cyril C, Il Wayne, Kyle M, Amir H, Right Spin, Keanu S, All Books, Kyle C, John P, Nicholas R, Robin, Andre, Kevin G, Alex G, and Tim W. We also got our Mad Lads of Cardboard. We got ZL, Jeff L, Peter Z, that guy right there. We also got our Mad Lady of Cardboard. We got Amy. So remember to like, comment, subscribe, maybe give some feedback on what you think of our review process or just more games you want us to review here at Shelfside, and we'll try to get around to it. Anyways, see you guys later. Bye-bye.